A very important concept in React is component lifecycle. So what do we mean by it? It means the life cycle of a React component. There are three main parts of the component lifecycle in React: mounting, when a component is mounted; updating, when the component gets updated; and unmounting, when the component finally gets unmounted. So these are the three main parts of the component lifecycle. And for our purpose, the most important are mounting and updating. So we will study them in some detail and see how do we use it and why do we use it. A component gets mounted once a new component gets added to the DOM. So in our React, when we add a new component, that is when the component gets mounted. What is the meaning of update? A component gets updated when either it receives new props, so the same component is getting new props, or we use set state within the component to change its state. There is a third one called force update, which we will not study right now because these are the two main uses, new props and set state, that we will focus on. Unmounted happens when the component is actually removed from the DOM, that is when the component gets unmounted. So it is no longer part of our DOM. In our mounting phase, when a component gets mounted, there is the constructor, then there is a get derived state from props, then the component is rendered, and then there is a function component did mount that gets called. Now this function is our most important function, and this is where we make API calls and update the component's state based on the response here. This is also where we use set state, and when we do set state, what will it do? It will just update the component and hence it will call the render again. So most of our code either is done at the constructor or at the component did mount. So what we will do is, here we will look at examples where we use component did mount in the mounting phase. The next is the update phase or the updating phase. So as we mentioned earlier, there are two main reasons why an update happens. Either you receive new props or a set state has been called in that component and the state has been changed. The most important functions here are: first, should component update. This method returns a true or false, that is, should a component update or not. So if we implement this method, we should return a true or false saying whether the component should update or not. By default, the default value is set true. A component will always re-render when updated. So if we do not implement this, the component will always get re-rendered. And the purpose for this is performance optimization. So if there are scenarios when a component is getting updated, but we do not want the render to be called, we use should component update. It's not used for normal purposes. The core reason is performance optimization. The other is the component did update. This method receives the former props and state as arguments. As we mentioned earlier, why does component did update get called? Because either it receives new props or the state has changed. So it receives the former props and state as arguments. It is typically used to make API calls after comparing the current and previous props and state. So we compare the previous props, the current props, and the states, and depending upon that, we will make some changes. Set state can be used here, but within a conditional statement. If we just use set state without testing for our conditions, it will just keep on getting called again and again. So within a conditional where we are testing between the props and the state, and depending upon that, we implement our logic. So what we will do is we'll create a sample app, a very simple app, to demonstrate how do we use the component lifecycle. So this is the app that we will implement. There is a component, say A, there is a component B, which is getting called. As you can see here, when I mouse over on component A, it calls component A. This is the URL it goes to. If I go to component B, it just calls component B with these values. Now what do we want here? First, in component A, we will want to put a console.log for each of these life cycle steps so that we understand how they are called. So let's go to our VS Code. In our VS Code, we have a main component which is just calling which implements the router, and it just calls the component A and the component B. The component A has no parameters and it just has a name, a route parameter name. We have a simple nav bar that we have implemented where we show the AAAA that we showed and the BBBB as a drop down with all the three names that we have put in here. Then we have our component A. It's a very simple component in which the state has a counter which is initialized to 0. We render component AAA and the counter value from the state and just have a button for increment. What we will do is in this component, let's just implement all of them. So let's say first is component did mount. So let's implement this method, and what should we do? We'll just put a console.log. So we are in this method, in this component AAAA, and we are in component did mount, and let's also render the counter is equal to this dot state dot counter. So let's just put in a console.log. Similarly, let's just implement a component did update, wherein again we will get our previous props and our previous state. And what should we do within it? We will just put in the same console.log. The only change being that instead of component did mount, we will just put in component did update. In our render also, let's just put in this console.log and we called it with render. So here we are in the render method. So let's just put that. Let's go ahead and test it out. So now if I click on AAA, we first get the render, you can see, and then we get a component did mount. Now when I click on increment, the set state will be called, which means this component will get updated. So it will not call the mount because the mount is called only on the first time. We will get the render and the component did update. If I click on it again, you can see we get a render and a component did update. If I click on this and I come back, we get a component render and a component did mount because this component had been unmounted and it has now been remounted. When we are within that component and incrementing it, we are getting an update. Let's also add, say, like we have done a component did mount. A component will unmount, which is used to say when the component is unmounting. Let's go back and test that. So now when I click on AAA, I get the render and the did mount. When I increment, I get them. And now if I click on this, you can see we got the component did unmount and no render. And now if I go back to AAA, I did get the component did mount because this component A had been removed from the DOM. So now it will get a mount again. If we implement, say, the component should component update, what does this get? it gets the previous props and the previous state as parameter. And suppose we return a false here. So first let's put a console.log, and then we return a false. Let's see what will happen. So we get the render and the component did mount the first time. Now when we increment on it, see the counter has remained 0. We got a component should update, and because we returned a false, so the render and the component did update did not happen because we said this component should not be updated. If I make a change here and say return true, let's see what will happen. So now we click on AA, we get the render and the component did mount. Now when I click on increment, you can see the counter value has changed. We got the call to component should update. We returned a true, which means we want to render and update it. So we got the render and we got the update. If I click on it again, the same cycle has gotten repeated. If I click on it outside, the component will unmount and the same cycles get repeated. So this is how this life cycle works. Let's now look at an example in this BBBB as to what are the implications and how should we use it. Now let's look at what do we want to do. So let's look at this component BBBB. Let's click on say George. So we get this component BBBB, the counter is 0 and the name is George. If I increment on it, it increments. Now if I say click on Carla, the name has changed to Carla, the counter has remained 5. Suppose we wanted this counter to become 0, then how should we have done that? Suppose that is our objective. So let's go to our component B. So this component in the state stores the counter, very similar to component A, and it is getting name from the props and just displaying it. That's the only change between them. Let's put in the component did mount. And like we did there, let's put a similar console.log. Let me put that. And also what do we want to show here? Name is equal to, and what is name? This dot props dot match dot param. Or let's just destructure them, so in all of them, so that it becomes easier in our. So let's put this as dollar counter and this as a dollar name. So this is our mount. Similarly, let's put in our update. So component did update, it gets the previous props and the previous state. Let's put our component did will unmount. Let's put that. Let's put our should component update. Again, it gets the previous props and the previous state. And like we did in our render, let's also put this console.log. So now we have put all of them here. Now let's see what is the behavior. So let's click on George. So we get the render and the component did mount with counter 0 and the params being name is equal to George. If we increment component should update, we did not define a return. That was the problem. So let's just return true. Let's go back and test it. So George, now let's increment it. We got the component should update with counter is equal to 0, name is equal to George. We rendered it with counter 1, the value of the counter has changed and the name is equal to George. And then we called component update, did update. So this is working fine. Let us now click on Carla. So when we click on Carla, we get the component should component update with the counter as 4 and the current parameter as George. In our render, we got the counter as 4 and the name as Carla, the current parameter, which is why we displayed Carla. And here in component did update also we did that. Now what do we want? If the user has changed, if the props have changed, we want to reset the counter. That is our objective. So the name has changed because we were picking it from props, but because the counter was coming from the state, we need to change the state. So how should we do that? In our did component update, we should do a set state, say counter is 0. Now will this work? Let's see what happens if we do that. Let's click on George. So we get the counter. Now if I click on increment, we get an infinite loop. Now why are we getting an infinite loop? Because whenever we are calling in our did update, whenever we are doing a set state, the state is changing. So this now becomes an infinite loop. So as we discussed, we should use set state but within a conditional statement. So we should compare what we want to do and depending upon that we should put in set state. So in this case, when should we do set state? So typically here we should say if previous props dot, now what is it that we are getting? Dot match dot params dot name not equal to name, which is the current, then we should set the state. This is our objective, that if the name has changed in the props, then we should set the state. Let's go ahead and test this now. So let's go ahead and test this now. So let me click on George, we get it. Now if I increment on it, the increment is working fine. Let's now click on Carla. So what do I get now? So here component did update, counter is equal to 4, name is equal to George we had. Then we clicked on Carla, so we got name is equal to Carla. We got a component did update, and in response to that we did a set state. Let's put a console.log again. Let me put a console.log here to say console.log resetting counter using set state. So this is what we are doing so that it's very visible. So George, if I increment, George becomes 1, becomes 2. Now so notice here we haven't gotten that resetting the counter. Now if I click on Carla, we get the component did update, and in that we are resetting the counter using set state, and because we are resetting the counter, we are now getting another render with counter is equal to 0, which has made the counter is equal to 0. Now if I click on it again, Now the counter becomes Carla and this keeps on working perfectly fine. If I now click on Tim, what will happen? It will get reset to 0. If I click on Tim again, then it got a component should update, but because the props hadn't changed, notice the counter did not change, nothing happened. So we got an update, the update got fired, but nothing came out of it because we handled it. How did we handle it? The same way we compared the previous props. So depending upon what your logic is, you can do it. Another way to do it is if previous props not equal to this dot props. So if our current props and our previous props don't match, then also we can do this. This is a more generic kind of a condition. Let's test it out. George increment, we get that. Now if I click on Carla, this is also working. So we can do a specific comparison because we know that, or at times we just compare the previous props and the current props. It could also be that something in the state we want to handle because something has changed and we want to do specific things, so we can just compare with the previous state and the current state also to do that. The more commonly used cases are about props, which is what we have used here. So now the purpose of having this was that suppose we wanted to fetch any data from the server, we will typically do it in the did mount. Now if some change happened, like we saw in our previous examples of pagination or some parameters changed, that we handled in our component did update. Component will mount is generally to tell us that the component has unmounted. Component should update, it is for optimization. If you don't implement it, default is true, which means it will always get re-rendered. That is, the component will always get updated. So this is how we use the life cycle. So the mounting with the component did mount, the component did update, and the component will unmount. And the update typically gets fired for the new props and the set state. And for optimization, if we want to use, at times we use the should component update.